Alright, time for the most important part of creating an RPG with RPG Maker MV, which is the battles. Now, there are a ton of ways you can make a battle start within your game, but for this video today, we'll be doing it using random encounters. So to add random encounters to a specific map, simply go to the map right here, right click on it, hit edit, then use a big white rectangle right here to set up our encounters. So let's just double click. Let's select one of the predefined troops within RPG Maker MV. We'll select the slime ×2. The weight, well, don't worry about that for now. We'll just hit OK. And then we'll look at the encounter steps. Now, this is the average amount of steps a player will take before getting an encounter. Now, since we're going to be testing encounters, you may want to set it for something low, like 30 or 15, so we can get a quick encounter really fast. But realistically, if you're creating a game, you probably want to set this something higher, like 70 or maybe even 80, for a bigger or larger map that you don't expect to see multiple enemies on. For a map that a player is supposed to grind on, maybe you can set it down to like 40 or 50, but for main game, set it to 80 or 70 so you don't annoy the player to death. But once again, for this example, we'll be setting it to 30 so we can get a quick encounter of these slime ×2. Hit OK, and we are pretty much done. Now let's go into the game. Now once you get into the game, simply go to the map which has random encounters defined in it, and simply run around for a bit. And eventually, we will find a random encounter, so keep running around. We'll keep going. Oh, almost there. There it is. That white flash will symbolize a battle has started, and we'll get 2 slimes right there. Slime emerged. And so, if you may notice, maybe not because the window color is still really weird, we can select fight or escape. We can select attack, magic, guard, item, all these cool choices like an RPG would. And so let's attack slime A. And there we have it. We attacked slime A, the slime B attacked us, slime A attacked us. And so if we kept attacking, we would eventually, hopefully, defeat these 2 slimes, though it looks like we may lose if they keep attacking us like this. We also have magic. We can use some spells like Spark. And of course, it'll attack the slimes. Yeah! We also have the ability to use an item, which we shouldn't have right now. Yeah, and also we can guard, which should reduce damage by half. So, yay, now we get to slow our death even slower. And finally, we can also use the escape right here to escape from battle, which is not always guaranteed, as you can see right here. And now we're going to take some more damage from these crazy slimes. But if we escape again, hopefully we will escape like we just did. And that was perfect. Now, in order to mainly define all the characteristics of a battle, we're going to do so within the database, which once again is going to be these little gear things right here. We can click on them, and we'll be brought to all these crazy tabs once again. Now, the actors, those are the players. If you may notice, we have the side view battler right here. Now, this is for side view battles. What we just saw right now is a front view battle, which means we saw the enemies in the front of us, and we didn't see any of the players because we assume that we're looking at the perspective from the players. But a side view battle, we'd see both the side view players and the enemies and both sides of the screen. But we'll get into that later. For now, let's learn how we can customize our own troop to have its own enemies. So let's go to the Troops tab right here, and if you may notice, we have the 4 troops that we saw before, which are the Bat ×2, Slime ×2, Orc, and Minotaur. Now we can change the maximum and set it to a higher number, say 6, and now we can get more slots for these guys. So let's make a troop that has a bat, so we'll click on the bat and hit add. We can move him somewhere. We can click on the Orc, we can add him, we can move him somewhere on the screen. We can make a Minotaur also and add him right in the middle. The big, crazy troop of all 3 of these crazy enemies. Well, maybe the bat isn't that crazy. We got a Minotaur and an Orc. Finally, we can also auto-name it just by clicking that button, and it'll give us a list of all the enemies defined within this troop. So now if we go back into our map, we can create another encounter, or in fact, we can edit the currently existing encounter to next we encounter our new troop right here, which is going to be Bat, Orc, and Minotaur. Now, before we do so, I'd like to point out the weight right here, which I mentioned before. Now, the weight is not necessarily affect how often you encounter enemies, but it affects how often you'll get this specific troop out of all the other available troops listed. So, for example, if we create another troop called Orc that you can run into, just an Orc by himself, these 2 have both a weight of 5, so you're going to encounter them just as often. But if you set this to something like 10, that means you'll encounter an Orc way more frequent than a Bat, Orc, Minotaur troop. And that's because the weight is higher, which means it's more frequent. Now, this is all relative, so that it means that if you have a weight of something low, like 3, this is pretty low. But if you have another encounter that has something like 2, as you see right here, then it's still going to be more frequent than this one right here. And these do not affect how often you encounter any troop at all, which is defined by the encounter steps. These just go and say like, hey, once you do encounter a troop, which troop is it going to be? Is it going to be this one, or is it going to be this one? And these weights define which one it's going to be. But enough of that, let's actually go encounter our Bat, Orc, Minotaur troop. And if we run around, we'll keep running, and hopefully we'll come across our amazingly beautiful, combination of a bat, an orc, and whatever the last one was, because I forgot, because I don't care. And there we have it. A bat emerged, an orc emerged, and a minotaur emerged. And we're going to escape because we don't want to deal with this craziness. But anyway, there's pretty much tons and tons of aspects that I can use to manipulate how your battles go, including skills, items, weapons, armors, enemies, states, animations, and all that crazy stuff. And we'll get into all that stuff in later tutorials, but for now, let's set off this tutorial with one final lesson, which is how to actually use side view battle. Simply go into system, click this little thing in here that says side view battle, and we're done pretty much. Now, even though you did that, you're still gonna have to move these guys so it looks good. Your player's gonna appear on this right side of the screen, so you wanna move all of your enemies to the left side of the screen like this. Make sure they're all visible by just trying to move them around, make them look good. There, there, there. And now, these guys will appear on the left as our players appear on the right. So, before we do that, let's also add some more players back into our party just so we can get a better seeing example of what we're doing right here, like that. But anyway, for one final time, let's go and try and encounter one of these crazy troops right here. So, there we have it. Our encounter has started, and if you notice right here, all of our players are now appearing on the right side of our screen, and all the enemies are appearing on the left side like we put them there. Now, as you can probably guess, the battle's going to be exactly the same, only now we're going to see our little actors moving around as we do stuff. Now, whether you use side view battle or front view battle is up to you. As you may guess, side view battle looks a lot more awesome and a lot more animation is going on, but at the same time, a front view battle can be just as stylistic in your own game. And it's up to you which one you choose. And that's all for this video. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up. Please give it a like if you want to see. I said that twice. Good job, me. Great. Anyway, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. RPG Maker Tutorial End.